Welcome to the check-in on H&C, the show where we find out how people are coping during the lockdown and share advice and tips on how to get through it. In this show, we can't send our camera crews out at the moment, but that has not stopped me getting in touch. Coming up on tonight's show, I catch up with top international eventer Boyd Martin and check in with showjumping legend Jeff Billington. So I'm now joined by the brilliant top eventer Boyd Martin, who's all the way in Pennsylvania. Boyd, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So first of all, I've got to kind of introduce you because you, there's a lot of viewers watching this who might just be into eventing, might not know you quite so well. Australian, but in America. Explain a little bit about the accent, but you ride for the Team USA.
Yeah, well, I suppose, grew up, got started in Australia and moved over here in about 2007 and, decided that this was definitely the place for me. So in about 2010, I had two passports. I had, my mum's American, so I had a dual citizenship. So I had two passports and in 2009 or 10, I decided to change just the nationality to ride for America just because I decided to live out my days here in the promised land. And it was a great decision, but I'm still actually an Australian citizen. I've got an Australian passport and an American passport. So.
And I think what we over here want to know is what's it like in Pennsylvania? I'm guessing you've just come back from Wellington and Florida, around that area, because I know a lot of you eventers like to track the sunshine down. What's going on in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it was chaos. Like we were, let's say 2 weeks ago, we were at a competition in Georgia near Atlanta, and it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, and we were sort of halfway through the cross country on Friday, and the word got out that the events for the next 2 weeks were cancelled, and we thought, oh no, what are we going to do? How are we going to get the horses ready for Kentucky? And what about the Olympic horses? And I mean, at the time, we thought the world was ending. And I mean, looking back at it now, you missed 2 or 3 weekends, it'd be nothing. So we're, obviously, probably like you guys, every day or every week, the news got worse where, okay, there's no 5 stars at Kentucky or Badminton, and then all of a sudden there's no Olympics, and now it's you can't leave your farm, and it's chaos over here, chaos. But it's really weird. I've hardly left the farm in about 2 or 3 weeks, and there's like hardly any traffic. I mean, we're lucky. We live on 100 acres, and we've got a barn full of horses in training, so we're busy all day.
And you had an astonishing 2019, second in Kentucky. You finished top of the USEA rankings, and you had some great results. So I'm thinking for you were thinking Kentucky this year. You were also looking at the Olympics. I know there's strong contenders over there, and you were also gold medalist in the Pan Am Games. So you were looking forward to 2020, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's certain things that are just out of your control, though. Like it's, to be honest, I got a great bunch of horses at the moment, and they're all in great form. They're fit and sound and humming along, and I really, thought I could do really well at Kentucky and Olympics. But it is what it is. There's certain things that you have no control over.
Yeah.
Got no control over the weather. You got no control over what order in the dressage you go at an event, and you've got no control over the coronavirus. So it's make the most of it and try and to enjoy the moment, enjoy the bit of calmness, and just sort of hunker down and weather the storm and be ready to come out cracking. I think we've been told over here that we won't be eventing probably till September. So.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, we are allowed for one exercise a day. So me and my husband today went on a lovely walk with our 2 tiny humans. And I did turn around to my husband and say, you are getting to spend so much more time. We are getting to spend so much more time with our kids. And you have 2 small tiny humans as well. And I'm guessing this is some quality time. So is it making you reflect a little bit and actually enjoy some downtime with the kids?
Yeah, it's sort of a forced reset button a little bit. For us, this time of the year is just madness usually, and it's quite calm and like you guys, at the end of the day, I'm finding time to run around with my two boys and play around. One of them, the 4-year-old Knox, has started riding, so I've been giving him a hand jumping a bit, and the other one's just started walking, and so he's running around the farm a little bit, and you just, I think, try and make the most of it and try and stay motivated and disciplined and still working hard. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking too. Like our incomes come back a lot. There's no teaching. There's sort of prize money. You don't bank on it, but usually with the big events, especially in America, there's some good prize money. And a few of our sponsors actually have backed down the financial component of our sponsorship. So it's a tiny little bit nerve-wracking, wondering if we can't get too much less income because we're right on the limit at the moment. But it's you just do the best you can and enjoy, like you said, moments where you can enjoy the family and really concentrate on your riding, not be tired from the event that you went to the day before.
And you've got some lovely horses, of the horse who I've been told to call Sexy Legs, but that's not how you say his name at all.
Yeah.
But Nicole Brown.
It's a terrible name. His name's Thomas. His name's Tom. Actually, I talked to the owner a couple of years ago. I said, why don't we change his name? Because I think it's going to be a good horse, but he's a cool horse. He's Hester Leg. I think it's a name of a town in Mongolia or something. When the horse was bred, the breeder's daughter was in Mongolia. And
he's an absolutely stunning horse. I love a horse like that who you can really follow because he just stands out. You could see him, you can see you galloping, and this black kind of shadow will go across, and he's absolutely beautiful. Thomas is much easier to say as well. I like that a lot better. And how do British, obviously you've got Kentucky over there as well, and how does Burghley and Badminton compare on a scale? Because for us it's like huge. It's our mecca if you're an eventer. When you come over, is it quite nerve-wracking? There's huge crowds. Is there a different feel to it? How does it compare to Kentucky and your events?
Kentucky's a great event here. I mean, out of all the 5-stars, I'm lucky I've done them all. I've done all of them in the world now, and whenever it's your home event, you're a little bit more comfortable there. You sort of have a feel for the course, and you understand how the systems there work and the dressage and how nervous the horses get. And then obviously when we ship over to do Badminton, Burghley or Poe, it's a little bit nerve-wracking because you're all of a sudden seeing these riders that you've idolised all your life, and you're walking the course and it's not familiar. So, but I mean, I think the crowds are massive at Kentucky, and so you're a little bit used to them when you get to Badminton or Burghley, but they're also differently. I think it's wonderful, all the different 5-stars. They've sort of got their own uniqueness.
Yeah.
And I think, in my experience, Burghley's just this massive, the biggest, most powerful, strongest, fierce horse and rider win that one. And then you go to Lemoulin, and I always feel like the most skillful, well-trained, well-ridden animal wins that one. And so it's pretty cool going to all the different 5-stars around the world, and it takes just a slightly different horse or rider or way of riding to master each one. But I think Kentucky's brilliant. It's having that big stadium there. I think that's the most electric ring for the dressage and show jumping out of all of them. And the cross country there, I love the horse park there. It's always good ground and a well built course. And and the Americans, you got to love the Yanks. When it comes to cheering on cross-country day, I mean, England might have the better horses and riders, but America's got the best crowds.
Oh, really? We're very polite in England. We just do a little clap as you come past.
Yeah,
well done.
You guys are so polite over there. And, the Americans, they show a bit more heart when they're yelling and screaming when a horse has done well there.
I love it. And you just said then, I'm going to finish with this. You get a little bit starstruck coming over here. Like, obviously, I'm in the midst. I live down the road from Mark Todd, for goodness sake. Who would make Boyd Martin starstruck? Who's your eventing heroes?
Well, the hero. Well, I'm lucky. I've got to know them a bit. The best rider in the world at the moment, I reckon, is Chris Burton, and I'm not saying that because he's a friend of mine, but I truly think that he is by far just in a different calibre in all different levels. I think he's got the best horses, and then I think he's just a beautiful, beautiful rider. And then, I mean, I got to say I admire Tim Price a lot, who I've known years as well. And, I mean, how can you be such a great competitor and a nice guy?
He is the nicest guy. What is with that? And as is Chris. I've just filmed a masterclass with Chris. So anyone watching this, Horse and Country TV, Berto's Basics, we've called it, where he's training young horses. Well, Boyd, I've taken up enough of your time. You have been fantastic to talk to. Thank you so much for taking the time out from miles away. But it's a very weird time where you're miles away, but we're in exactly the same situation.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter if you're next door neighbour. I would have seen you just as much.
I know, exactly. Even if I was literally down the road, we'd have had to Skype. So thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you. And as we're saying over here, stay safe. Look after yourselves, and hopefully we can get through this, and hopefully I will be interviewing you at the end of Burley if everything goes to plan.
And then we'll be able to hug and kiss.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Cheers, Boyd. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
So I'm delighted to welcome to the check-in. It is the wonderful Jeff Billington. Jeff, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, we're struggling away.
How is isolation treating you?
Well, luckily, as you know, we've got quite a big farm, so we have got lots of fresh air and no people around. Yeah, so I think we're a bit more fortunate than some.
And you, like you say, you do have a farm, but you also do have a toddler. And I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and it's testing. And you have your beautiful wife. How is it with a tiny human to look after full time as well?
Alfie's turned feral. He's here, there, and everywhere. He was on top of the muck heap, which is about 14 foot high, the other day, and I asked him what he was doing up there. He said, "I followed the dog."
Amazing. So are you trying to, like me, I'm trying to think of like exciting things to keep him entertained, but is he into the horses? Can you entertain him, like get a pony out?
Yeah, he likes to ride. He does ask to ride every day, so that's good.
Yeah.
And Sarah's she's like the new pony club mum. She's got him going round the world and standing on his saddle. And
amazing. Well, we have to ask you, because you've been kept busy with Nina Barber has gone into her phone book and called up some amazing riders and celebrities to get involved in equestrian relief. And you've done your first challenge.
I know, it's a bit embarrassing. I thought I'd done really well. I came last.
You came last. To be fair, there's a few things here, Jeff. You did 2 minutes of plank, which is probably about
2 minutes and 24 seconds, please, Jenny.
Sorry, it's 2 minutes more than I would have managed.
All right.
But you were attacked by a dog during it. Take us through your planking challenge, Jeff.
Well, Superman invited me onto the lawn. I dropped down. No, I was doing okay. I got to 2 minutes and I was doing okay. And then the dog came out of nowhere. I think she's about 10 months old. And she thought I was playing rolling with her. She's supposed to be a Jack Russell, but she's a sausage dog, I think. And licking her bum, licking my face. And at that point, I crumpled.
But you did, thing is, Oliver Townend did something like 13 minutes. I mean, that's just...
He's an animal, isn't he?
That's just crazy. That's superhuman. Like, you should have let Superman do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, but we know he's superhuman. That's why he's number one in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Him and AP, that's their determination. They haven't got any pain.
That's what it is. They can't feel it.
No.
But yeah, you are in Team Show Jumping North. It's an amazing cause. I'm guessing it was pretty much a no-brainer when you got the call to say yes.
Yeah, the NHS are doing a fantastic job, and it's nothing to, you know, us doing a little bit. It's anything we can do to help. Yeah.
And I've noticed you've all been given stats. So your physical ability, I think you scored yourself 4 out of 10. But your
that proved it on the planking.
But your special talent, you've given yourself 10 out of 10, Jeff.
Yeah,
you've gone big.
The only problem is you've got to be in the pub with me, and I've got to have 10 pints of Guinness inside me. Then you'll see.
You and Shane Breen. I think Shane's rated his 10 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, I thought Jay Halim's were the best. He gave himself 10 out of 10 for everything. I'm surprised he didn't give himself 11 out of 10.
And also, he's just shown to the world that he sleeps in a tiger suit.
Yeah.
That is to be expected of Jay. But you are a competitive bunch. Are you still as competitive as you've always been? Are you, or has that kind of faded over time?
No, I'm very competitive, but the problem is my mind makes appointments my body can't keep.
Oh, brilliant.
Since I did my little party trick, sliding down the motorbike ramp at Liverpool and breaking my foot, I'm going a bit chicken.
Yeah, that is, like, you've fallen off a lot of horses. I've not known you to fall off an inflatable ramp very many times. How is the limp? You were very lame last time I saw you at your Heroes Tour at Hartbury, which we have on Horse and Country, if anyone would like to see your demo with Robert Whittaker. But yeah, how are you? Are you still lame?
I'm a lot further on than that. Yeah, the crutches have gone.
Yeah.
I can go sound in a straight line, but I'm not very sound on a circle yet.
Would you pass?
In fact, I had the vet scan it yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said it's all going well, and there was a few little things floating about, but he says I've got to go through the pain barrier now.
So you've got no excuses. Sarah has you back in action. You can't go away from work.
I've never not been out of action. No, she gives it me. I definitely don't wear the trousers in my house.
I do love your wife. I'm very fond of her. If anyone can keep Jeff Billington in place, it is definitely yours.
I do not love her.
But you are very great friends with the likes of John Whittaker, Michael Whittaker, Nick Skelton. I have to say, I had to watch some old archive footage the other day. I was looking through some different films, and there was an old one of you and John on tour, I think in Stockholm. On the and yeah, you had Milton out, and it was just the most amazing thing. You two came galloping into the arena under lights, absolutely brilliant. Like, it was really, and also that was timeless. Like, I've seen you do demos over the last few years, but that demo, just, I could have watched it again and again and again. You and John had great banter as well. It was brilliant to watch. We've
grown up together, you know. We met when we were 12 years old.
Yeah.
And we can more or less tell how the other one's thinking. So it's like Morecambe and Wise or whatever, you know. It's obviously he's a straight-laced one, but he knows how to cut. He can cut me dead with one word, bang. And
you had the great Milton in that as well. And I was thinking as well, when I was watching it, I was watching Milton, and then I was thinking about your kind of hero of a horse, it's Otto. And they're just so amazing to watch. If you had those horses now in competition, how do you think it's Otto would fare now if he was competing on the Global Champions Tour or in the Rolex Grand Slam? How do you think he would fare?
I think he'd still been one of the best ones. You know, he was so careful. He was unbelievably careful. You might have had to put a younger jockey on to go faster, because in those days he was second in so many big Grand Prix. He used to go so high and spend more time in the air. So, yeah, he'd have been there or thereabouts. I always remember every Sunday afternoon when it was the big money, you'd look left and look right. He'd always be in the top 6.
Yeah.
And you'd look left and look right, and it was more or less the same horses. There was E.T., Ratina, all the absolute superstar horses, Granouche, Wellham, Delagirl, horses that everybody will remember in 50 years' time.
Yeah. And there's, I think you were one of the characters of the day as well, but the horses back then as well. I think there's so many horses out there now. It's hard to kind of pick a favourite, isn't it? Everyone seems to have loads. Whereas back then, I had pictures of Milton and It's on Otto all over my wall.
And did you? Oh.
I did, yeah. I was quite starstruck when I first met him.
John's biggest thing is Katie Price had him on her wall. That's what he brags about. Now she's on his. I first went abroad. I went to Meppel in 1973, and there were, in a class of 60 or 70, there were probably 7 or 8 riders that could win, whereas now in a class of 50 there's 50 that can win at that top level. And there's no such thing as a bad horse now, or a careless horse. It's just, I think probably, your Marcus Hennings and Scott Brash and Ben Mayer, the cream does come to the top, but every now and again they do get beaten by an outsider, which didn't happen in the olden days.
If people want to get any more Jeff-shaped content, we have loads of it on Horse and Country, as well as a Daisy Dines With, where you got retweeted by Jamie Oliver, because you used it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been using that as well in our house. It's very good, I have to say.
Hopefully I might get to meet him one day.
That'd be fun. Get him to cook for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Like I say, if you want any more Jeff-shaped content, there is plenty of it on horseandcountry.tv. But for now, Jeff, I will let you go. It's been wonderful. Can
I just say, Jenny, let's remember, everybody support the NHS.
Yeah.
Donations if we can. We're going through a horrible time. We will get through it, hopefully. That's what we've got to think about now.
Yeah, definitely. And stay home and stay safe. And if the more people stay home, the quicker we will get through this.
Yeah.
Well,
and hopefully have more fun at the other side.
Yes, a lot more fun. I think maybe you need to plan a big party, Jeff.
Right. Well, we'll have a tour.
Yes.
Can you get me in the jungle?
I would like to see Jeff in the jungle. Maybe we should start a hashtag, Jeff in the jungle.
When that dog was licking my face yesterday after licking its bum, I thought, this is just like being in the jungle, this.
Right, on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for talking to us. And stay safe. Love to Sarah, love to your little one, and love to the horses, especially Conman. I'm a big fan of his. And I will speak to you soon.
Lovely. Thanks, Jenny.